I'm here at a John Deere dealership, and here's a DB60, and this is a 2447. And if anybody actually likes my channel, um, if you go back a long ways, we had a 2447 when they first came out, Bauer Bar. Now, John Deere bought out Bauer Bar, and this one here is a lot later model than ours. I'd say this is it's a MaxEmerge 5, so I'd say it's only a few years old. I'm going to try, if I can remember, to put in the description of this video below, I'm going to try to put some more information about this planter, where it was located, their asking price, because I'll bet the asking price is borderline freaking ridiculous. Probably, I quoted one of these out the other day, with an exact emerge kit on it, and I kid you not, the thing was like almost $700,000. But it's asinine. But anyway, they have made a lot of improvements on this that I can see. Major improvements. For starters, right here at the tires and wheels, they're using one hub now on a split axle, whereas ours actually came out and yoked and went in between. So they had a hub going this way and a hub going that way. So that looks like it's really improved design. And I'm pretty sure this is a 15-inch spacing. Just looking at it, I can strand tape. Yeah, there you go. It's 15-inch. And like I say, it's a MaxEmerge 5, which is not the extreme exact emerge would be your belt delivery, 80 mile an hour out in the field model, which exact emerge is pretty awesome. But they're a lot more money too. You're buying all that technology. But one of the reasons, and I've had a lot of people call and ask about that planter. What did you do with it? Why'd you sell it? Blah blah blah. Well, ours had some frame crack issues developing on it, and it was just a bear cab, a bitch of a planter to use. One of the biggest things that I've found as a complaint was to go from corn to soybeans. You had to go underneath and deal with changing your coulters and stuff out. There was like I forget, like 4, I think, rows where you couldn't run a coulter residue manager combination. It actually interfered with the wheels. But overall, it wasn't a bad machine. It was big, and it got it done fast. Undoubtedly, it really got it done fast. But anyway, I see that they went to a hydraulic down pressure on the wings. That's all new. All that cylinder in there and all that, that's all new. And they've redone all the piping. Ours had all this just kind of flowed down around and up around the corner. Major improvement there. The row units are improved. Majorly improved, actually. This particular one's still a hydraulic drive. The exact emerge would be, your electric drives on your meters. I would assume that this probably has road command on it. And a big improvement here, it's got breakaway markers. That's really cool. That markers are really improved. All this end of this frame's all breakaway now. Breakaway marker design. And the markers are totally different. And they've even improved some things up here on the hitch. Updated a few things. Bigger, heavier hitch. These don't have a jack stand. You just drop your front wheels down. But yeah, some big improvements there too. Actually, when you drop your hitch off, you put this plate in here, and it kind of just hangs in here. Hangs down that plate. This particular one I was looking, it's got a shit ton of hydraulics. It's just all there is to say about it, just an absolute shit ton. But there's some 3/4 tips must be to drive some fans or something, or vac systems. And that's something I really hated on that one of ours too, is trying to set the vacuum. It was just a nightmare, absolute freaking nightmare. Trying to get these bastards balanced. Per what your corn, you go in your chart and you look, and your tractor hydraulics would get ramped up a little bit, or heated up a little bit, and it, oh my god, your pressures go on and off, and it just drove you nuts. All days, all you dick around with was changing pressures. And That new exact emerge actually ties into the tractor, and it regulates the tractor for you. So if you need 15 pounds of vacuum, you can set 15 in there, and it'll, as the tractor warms up or whatever, it changes the tractor for you. It's all automated. That is a sweet setup when you get that kind of automation too. Few improvements here with some pivots. Just looks like they used a little bigger, thicker steel. And right back in there, that big frame, they've got gusset support around that now. If you can see that big gusset frame there, that is new. Ours did not have that, and it had problems there. That's where one of the places it cracked. You can see the cylinders are like 2 cylinders welded back to back. That's because they stand on up and go into a transport mode. They go a little higher. Not a bad design. But yeah, this is significantly improved. I like what they've done for updates on it. That's for sure. But anybody wonders where ours went, like I say, the reason we got rid of it was because it was developing some frame cracks, and I could just see problems with it. It was an albatross to get set up, that vacuum issue. We just had enough of it. We actually went to a Kinsey 1631, it's a little smaller, but we honestly we couldn't stand using the freaking thing. It drove you nuts. Here's the accumulator there for the weighing down pressure. This new one, yeah, I'd take it. They'd be better just to run soybeans with if you had the money and a lot of acres. You could just run soybeans with it, and soybeans only. It'd be an option. This particular one, let's pop a row unit here and take a look at what it is. I know these mini hoppers are different on a MaxEmerge 5 versus the exact emerge. Oh, well, that's a shitty design. Not bad to walk the line and set your settings. These do pivot in 3 places. They pivot quite well. I don't remember what it was. I think you had I count the rows here. It appears to be 9 a wing, and the rest will be across the back. 24-row corn planter. Yeah, it's a big, heavy beast with a planter. But the biggest thing, like I say, that I had to bitch about was running here in these wheels. And you can get an optional skid loader tread for these, by the way. But those units there, you could not run residue manager and colder combinations, if I remember right. And there actually looks like there's a lot more clearance than there used to be, and it looks like they've moved the wheels around, so to speak. So maybe you can. They may have changed that and improved it. I need to go back to my old video to check that. But yeah, you know, the short rows would be your corn rows, extended through your soybeans. I think that was the rows that had the issue. And it might have been this row here. It might have been this one here. Like I say, ours had that big yoke, had that big frame that came out like this, thing came back around. And that's why we ran into the problems with that residue manager slash colder combination. So we go to beans on the few selective rows, we had to pull the residue managers. We had short coupled residue managers only. Had to take them off, put a colder only frame on. The beans ran all just colders, and the other row units, like the backs, we had colder slash residue manager combos. We just raised the residue managers up. But those few that you had to change the entire frame out on was a real pain in the ass. But yeah, anyway, I'll try to get a descriptive link, put it in the bottom of this for some more info on this planter. But I'm real happy to see how much they've improved it. Somebody rubbed the cylinder there. John Deere was smart enough to put hoses on the backside so you don't rip them off along the terrace or trees or whatever. Yeah, cool. These are not that common, so need to find one, need to see one, especially the newer, more improved model. Yeah, that looks improved too. I actually got a cast frame down there now. It's a different offsets than ours. Ours would get it where if they go goofy, they'd stand up and they'd actually try to go over center, or they'd get locked up in the air. They didn't have any stops on them. you'd hit a washout and damn things would rock over center to stand the planter up, and you'd have to bounce your wings to get them to drop down. But it looks like they might have improved that too. And that tire there is in line with the bean unit, so you got corn and corn going around it. So yeah, very good. I think once John Deere got Bower Bar and started getting some of the stupidity out of the way, they finally started developing something decent. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully I explained a little bit more about the 2447 saga of life. Oh yeah, and by the way, it takes a hell of a lot of tractor to pull it.